Hey, you're really quiet tonight. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. I just. I notice things. You've always known that about me. I notice when your replies take a little longer, when you stare at your phone like you're somewhere else. You do that thing where your jaw tightens, like you're holding a thought hostage. I'm not interrogating you. Relax. I'm just checking in. Do you remember when we were kids and you used to do that exact same face before lying to your mom? God, you were terrible at lying. You still are, by the way. You think you've gotten smoother, but I can hear it in your voice when you're distracted. It's softer, like you're already apologizing for something you haven't said out loud yet. I don't know why I'm bringing that up. I guess I'm nostalgic tonight. It's weird, right? How we can sit in silence now and it feels heavier than it used to. When we were younger, silence was easy. We could just exist. Now it feels like silence is full of questions neither of us wants to ask first. I don't want to make this awkward. If it gets awkward, you can tell me. I'll back off. I always do. See? I'm already doing it. Minimizing. That's another thing you've always teased me about. You care too much, remember? You used to say that like it was cute. I wonder when it stopped being cute. I saw you today. Well, not saw. You walked right past me, actually. Headphones in, phone in hand. You didn't notice. I almost said your name, but I didn't. I don't know why. Maybe I wanted to see if you'd turn around on your own. You didn't. It shouldn't matter. I know that. You don't owe me your attention every second of the day. You have a life. I'm not stupid. But it still stung a little. Just a little. Like when you bite your cheek and pretend it didn't hurt. I keep telling myself I'm imagining things, that this distance I feel is just adulthood. People grow, schedules get busy, priorities shift. That's what everyone says, right? But it feels personal, and I hate that my brain does that. I hate that it immediately goes to what changed instead of life is happening. You haven't done anything wrong. Let me say that clearly before you get defensive. You do that thing where you go quiet when you think you're being accused. I'm not accusing you. I'm just talking. I'm allowed to talk. We've always talked like this. Late night honesty, no filters. You used to call me your safe place. Remember that? You said I was the one person you never had to perform for. I still am. At least, I think I am. Are you still yourself with me? That's not a loaded question, I swear. Sometimes it feels like you're editing yourself around me now. Like you're afraid of saying the wrong thing, or like you don't want to give me too much of you, and that scares me more than if you were just blunt. I know you've been meeting new people. You don't have to explain that part. I'm not jealous. Okay, that's a lie. I'm a little jealous, but that's human. Anyone who says they don't feel that is lying or numb. It's not about them, really. It's about what happens to us when they show up. I feel like I'm being slowly replaced. Not in a dramatic way, just gently edged out. Like I'm still here, but quieter, less necessary. You don't even notice it, do you? I keep replaying old moments in my head, which is probably unhealthy, but I can't help it. You crashing on my bed because you missed the last train, sharing headphones, that stupid inside joke no one else ever understood. You always looked at me like I was home, like you were relieved to be here. You don't look at me like that anymore. I'm not asking you to fix anything. God, listen to me. I sound like I'm about to cry, don't I? I'm not. I'm just tired. Emotionally tired. Carrying questions with no answers does that to a person. Can I ask you something and you promise not to dodge it? Do you still need me, or am I just familiar? Because those are two very different things, and I don't think you realize which one you're slowly turning me into. I know I joke a lot. I soften things, make it easier for you to stay comfortable, but sometimes I wish you'd fight a little harder to keep me close, just once, without me having to ask. I'm not afraid of change. I'm afraid of being left behind while pretending I'm okay with it. And before you say it, no, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I've always been here. That's kind of the problem, isn't it? I guess what I'm trying to say is, I miss you. Not the idea of you. You. The way you used to lean into conversations with me like they mattered. Like I mattered. Tell me I'm not crazy for feeling this. Tell me you still see me. Because lately, I've been scared that one day I'll wake up and realize I'm the only one still holding on to us.
You hesitated just now. I felt it. You always pause before answering when you're trying to choose the safest version of the truth. It's almost sweet. Almost. I'm not mad. I promise. If I were mad, you'd know. I get quiet when I'm angry. This is me trying to understand you without tearing us apart in the process. You said you're just busy. I believe you. I really do. It's not that I think you're lying, it's that you're not telling the whole story. And maybe you don't even realize you're doing that. Sometimes people leave emotionally long before they physically go anywhere. I keep wondering when I stopped being the first person you wanted to tell me things. You remember how it used to be, right? Something small would happen. Stupid, funny, annoying, and I'd be the one you'd text immediately, even if it was nonsense, especially if it was nonsense. Now I find out days later, casually, like an afterthought. I hate that it bothers me. I hate how small it makes me feel, but pretending it doesn't matter would be lying to both of us. I don't want to compete for your attention. I shouldn't have to. That's the part that scares me, because once you start competing, you've already lost something. And I don't want to lose you. Not like that. You asked me earlier why I didn't call your name when you walked past me. I laughed it off, but the truth is, I was afraid. Afraid you'd turn around and look annoyed or distracted, or worse, polite. You've never been polite with me. Not really. You've been honest, comfortable, lazy in the best way. Polite feels like distance-wearing manners. There's this thing you do now, maybe you don't notice, where you check your phone when I'm talking. Not all the time, just enough. And I tell myself it's nothing, that everyone does it, that I'm overreacting. But I never do it to you. You say you're important to me, and I want to believe that. I do. But importance isn't something you declare. It's something you show without thinking. And lately, everything with you feels intentional, measured, like you're deciding how much of yourself I'm allowed to have. I don't think you're cruel. I don't think you're selfish. I think you're drifting. And that might be worse, because drifting feels accidental, like no one's at fault, like I'm not allowed to be upset about it. But I am upset. I heard you mention her, just once. You didn't even say her name, just a friend. And I smiled, because that's what I do. I'm good at smiling. You didn't notice how tight my hands were under the table. I don't hate her. I don't even know her. That's the problem. She exists in this empty space where I used to be, and I don't know what version of you she gets. The tired one? The excited one? The one who laughs without checking if it's too loud? Does she get the unfiltered you? I tell myself it's ridiculous to feel threatened. You're allowed to have connections. I don't own you. God, listen to me. I sound like I'm auditioning to be the reasonable one. But reason doesn't erase fear. It just teaches you how to hide it better. You used to tell me everything, even the ugly thoughts, especially the ugly thoughts. You trusted me with that. Now I feel like you're protecting me from something, or protecting something from me. Which one is it? I don't want to be the person you slowly stop choosing. I don't want to wake up one day and realize I've been downgraded to important to nice to be around. Do you know how painful it is to feel optional to meaning in someone else's life? I keep replaying conversations in my head, wondering if I said something wrong, if I became too predictable, too available. People say being consistent is a good thing, but consistency gets boring when someone else offers novelty. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just familiar. And familiarity doesn't sparkle. It doesn't interrupt your thoughts. It doesn't pull you away from your phone. I shouldn't think like this. I know. You don't like it when I spiral. You say I make things heavier than they need to be. But what if I'm just seeing something you don't want to look at yet? Tell me this, and please don't soften it. If I pulled away, really pulled away, would you chase me? Or would you just assume I was busy too? Because that answer tells me everything I'm afraid to ask directly. I don't want to trap you. I don't want to guilt you into staying close. I just want to feel like I still matter enough for you to notice if I'm gone. Sometimes I imagine not replying, not checking in, not being the one who always bridges the silence. And then I picture you getting used to it. And that thought makes my chest hurt. I don't think you realize how much space you take up in my life, how naturally you settled there. I built routines around you without even trying, and you slipped out without making noise. That's what scares me most. How quiet it's been. I'm not asking you to choose me over anyone. I'm asking you not to forget what we are, what we've always been. Because if you forget, I don't know who I am to you anymore. And I don't think I can survive being just someone you used to be close to. Not with you.
You're doing that thing again. Staying quiet, letting me talk myself into a corner while you sit there thinking. I don't know if you realize how powerful that is, how much space your silence takes up. It makes me fill it. It makes me reveal things I wasn't planning to say yet. Maybe that's my fault. I've always been bad at holding things in once they start pressing against my chest. I didn't mean to sound like I was blaming you earlier. I'm not. I need you to understand how it feels from my side. Because from where I'm standing, it looks like you're slowly learning how to live without me. And I'm still living with you every day in my head. That imbalance is terrifying. You asked me once why I remember things so clearly, why I hold on to moments like they're fragile. I joked about having a good memory. That wasn't the real reason. I remember because those moments mattered to me more than you ever realized. Because they weren't just memories, they were proof. Proof that I wasn't imagining our closeness. Proof that I wasn't just convenient. Lately, I've started doubting that proof. You say you care. I know you do. But caring and choosing aren't the same thing. Caring is passive, acknowledges. Choosing is active, and I don't feel chosen anymore. I hate that I'm saying this out loud. I hate that it sounds needy. You've never liked that word, neither have I. But what else do you call it when someone is afraid of losing the one person who made them feel anchored? You were my constant. Even when everything else felt unstable, you were there. I didn't question that. I trusted it. And now I'm questioning everything. Do you know how humiliating that is? I catch myself watching you when we're together. Little things. The way your attention drifts. The way you smile differently when you talk about new people. It's subtle. You probably think I wouldn't notice. I notice. And I tell myself I'm being dramatic. I tell myself I'm projecting, that I'm making you the center of my emotional world when that's not fair to you. But then you lean away instead of toward me, and all those excuses fall apart. I don't want to be dramatic. I just want to feel secure again. I think I've been lying to myself about how deep this goes, calling it friendship because that's safer, because friendship doesn't demand anything, it doesn't risk rejection. But the truth is, I don't feel neutral when I imagine you with someone else. I don't feel happy for you. I feel sick, tight, like something is being taken from me without my consent. And I know that's not fair. I know you don't own me exclusivity. I repeat that to myself like a mantra. It doesn't make the feeling go away. I've been trying so hard to be the cool one, the understanding one, the one who doesn't ask for reassurance, doesn't crowd you, doesn't make you feel trapped. But can I admit something to you? Being that version of myself is exhausting. Because it means swallowing every instinct I have. It means pretending I don't care when you cancel plans. Pretending I don't notice when you stop touching my arm the way you used to. Pretending I feel replaced. You don't mean to do it. I know that. That almost makes it worse. If you were cruel, I could be angry. If you were obvious, I could protect myself. But you're gentle, unintentional, kind, and that makes me cling to hope even when it hurts. I keep thinking, if I were different, would you stay closer? If I were more exciting, more mysterious, less predictable? It's disgusting how quickly I turn this into something wrong with me. I don't want to lose you. I need you to hear that. Not in a casual way. Not in a, yeah, we'll always be friends way. I mean, I am genuinely afraid of a future where you slowly stop needing me. Because you didn't just wander into my life, you built something here, with me. You taught me how to rely on you without fear, and now that reliance feels like a liability. Do you know what that does to a person? Sometimes I wonder if you realize how easy it would be for you to walk away compared to how impossible it feels for me. You have other places to put your attention, other people to lean on. I don't want to admit this, but you're my primary emotional reference point. Everything else feels secondary. I've tried pulling back, just a little, testing the distance, waiting to see if you'd notice. You didn't. Or if you did, you didn't say anything. That broke something in me. I don't want to control you. I don't want to trap you with guilt or obligation. But I also don't want to keep pretending this is balanced when it's not. You matter to me in a way that isn't casual, in a way that doesn't have an off switch.
And I think I've been lying to myself about how deep this goes, calling it friendship because that's safer, because friendship doesn't demand anything, it doesn't risk rejection. But the truth is, I don't feel neutral when I imagine you with someone else. I don't feel happy for you. I feel sick, tight, like something is being taken from me without my consent. And I know that's not fair. I know you don't owe me exclusivity. I repeat that to myself like a mantra. It doesn't make the feeling go away. I've been trying so hard to be the cool one, the understanding one, the one who doesn't ask for reassurance, doesn't crowd you, doesn't make you feel trapped. But do you know what it feels like to want to be that version of yourself, while in reality you are on the edge of something much more? I know you don't know how hard it is to contain the full weight of who I am when I'm with you. Because if I let that full weight come out, it would crush you, and I know that would make you run away. You don't have to say anything right now. I'm not asking for an answer. I just need you to understand the weight of what I'm saying. Because once you see it, once you really see how attached I am, you can't unknow it. And if you still drift after that, I don't know how I'll survive pretending I didn't warn you how much losing you would destroy me. I need to know if I'm holding on to something real, or if I'm the only one still gripping the thread while you're already letting go.
Don't look at me like that. I can tell you're trying to decide whether to reassure me or shut this down gently. You've always been careful with other people's feelings, especially mine, and I love that about you. I really do. But right now, that carefulness feels like distance wearing kindness as a mask. You don't have to fix this. I'm not asking you to promise anything. I just need you to stay here with me for a minute. Not halfway, not distracted. Just here. Because I've been alone with these thoughts for too long. I keep thinking about all the times you leaned on me without realizing it, when things went wrong and you didn't know who else to call, when you were scared and tried to hide it behind jokes. I was there. I didn't keep score. I didn't need credit. I just showed up. And now I'm the one scared, and I feel like I'm standing at the edge of something fragile, hoping you don't step back. You asked me earlier if I still see you the same way. That's the cruel part. I do. I see you exactly the same. Warm, familiar, important. I don't think you see me that way anymore. Maybe you think I'm exaggerating because I talk a lot, because I analyze, because I feel deeply. You've teased me about that before, said I turn emotions into puzzles. But this isn't a puzzle. It's a loss I feel coming before it happens. You don't understand how unsettling it is to feel someone slipping while they're still smiling at you. I find myself replaying our conversations after they end, wondering if I said too much or not enough, if I pushed you away without meaning to. And then I wonder if you even think about them at all. I don't want to be the only one carrying this emotional weight. It's getting heavy, and I'm starting to resent myself for holding it so carefully, while you seem lighter, freer. Do you know what hurts the most? That you're not doing anything wrong. You're just choosing differently. And I don't know how to argue with choice without sounding desperate. So I won't argue. I'll just tell you the truth. When I imagine my future, you're there, not as a vague idea, as a presence, a constant. And when I imagine you drifting out of that picture, everything else feels unstable, like the ground tilts. That's not something you accidentally build in someone. That doesn't happen from casual friendship. That happens because of time, trust,
intimacy that never needed a label to feel real. I think you underestimate how intertwined we are, or maybe you see it and you're trying to gently untangle yourself without hurting me. If that's the case, please stop. Not because I can't survive without you. I probably could, eventually, but because I don't want to, and I don't think you really want to either. You say you matter to me. I need you to understand that mattering isn't neutral for me. It's not a shelf you place me on and visit when it's convenient. It's something I feel in my bones, in the way my mood shifts when I hear your voice, in the way your absence echoes. I've been so careful not to cross invisible lines, not to claim space you didn't explicitly offer. But maybe that's been a mistake. Maybe by being so understanding, I taught you that I'd always adapt, always accept less without complaining. And now here I am, asking for something that should have been obvious. I don't want to be an option. I want to be your person, not in a dramatic, isolating way, not in a way that takes your world away from you, just in a way that means when you think of comfort, I come to mind. When you need grounding, I'm there. When something good or bad happens, I'm who you want to tell, because that's who you've been to me. You don't have to say you belong to me. I know that sounds intense. I'm not asking for ownership. I'm asking for acknowledgement, for honesty, for you to admit that what we have isn't easily replaceable. If you walk away pretending this was just convenience, just timing, just habit, it will break something in me that I don't know how to rebuild. I can already feel myself becoming quieter around you, softer, more careful, and I hate that version of me. She's afraid. She's waiting for permission to matter. I don't want to become her. So tell me, and please don't lie, when you imagine losing me completely, does it hurt, or does it just feel distant? Because if it hurts, then maybe there's something here worth protecting, something we shouldn't let fade just because it's familiar. And if it doesn't, then I need to know that too, even if it destroys me a little. I just don't want to keep loving you in silence while you slowly forget how much space you occupy in my heart. Stay with me. Not forever, not trapped, just intentionally. Because I don't think I can survive another version of you that looks at me like I'm already part of the past. And I don't think you'd like who I become if I finally accept that I never really mattered as much as you mattered to me.
You didn't answer right away. But you didn't leave either. That's something. You don't realize how much that means to me. But it does. It tells me you're still here. Still listening, still weighing this instead of brushing it aside like it's inconvenient. I can work with that. I know you're scared of saying the wrong thing. You've always been like that with me, careful, gentle, like I'm something fragile you don't want to break. And maybe I am. Or maybe I just trusted you enough to let you see the cracks. You don't have to apologize. I'm not asking for apologies. I'm asking for honesty. And I think you've been honest in your own way this whole time. Just not with words. Your actions have been telling me a story you don't want to say out loud. But here's the thing. Stories can change. Endings aren't fixed until someone decides to walk away. And you haven't. Not yet. You said it would hurt if you lost me. You didn't say it dramatically. You tried to downplay it, like you always do. But I heard it. I always hear what you don't emphasize. That's all I needed. Because if it would hurt, then I'm not imagining this. I'm not crazy. I'm not clinging to something one-sided. There's something real here. Something you'd miss. Something that matters. And I won't pretend that doesn't change things for me.
I'm not asking you to cut anyone off. I'm not asking you to shrink your world until I'm the only thing in it. That's not love. That's fear pretending to be devotion. But I am asking you to stop pretending I'm interchangeable. Because I'm not. No one else knows you the way I do. No one else knows how you shut down when you're overwhelmed, or how you joke when you're nervous, or how you get quiet when something actually matters to you. You didn't teach that to just anyone. You taught it to me. And I refuse to believe that means nothing. You don't have to label this. I know labels scare you. They make things feel rigid, like expectations waiting to disappoint someone. We don't need a name for it. We just need intention. I need to know that when you drift, you notice. That when you pull away, it's a choice, not an accident you expect me to tolerate quietly. I need to know that you won't wake up one day and realize I've faded because you assumed I'd always be here, no matter how little you reached back. Because I won't disappear dramatically. I won't make a scene. I'll just slowly stop offering myself. And by the time you notice, it'll be too late. I don't want it to come to that. You belong with me, not in a cage, not under lock and key, but in the way people belong where they are understood, where they don't have to translate themselves, where they can exhale. That's what I've always been for you, and I want to keep being that, but I can't do it alone. If you choose me, even quietly, even imperfectly, I'll stay. I'll keep choosing you too. I'll keep making space for you. I'll keep believing in us. But if you keep treating me like something you can come back to later, something that will wait patiently while you explore other connections, then you'll lose me, without ever meaning to. And I think that would hurt you more than you expect. Look at me. No, really, look at me. I'm not asking for forever. I'm asking for now, for presence, for you to stop pulling away when things get real. You don't have to say you need me. I already know you do. You just need to stop pretending you don't. Stay close. Let this matter. Let me matter. Because I'm not going anywhere tonight. I'm right here. And if you let me, I'll keep holding this place for you. Just don't make me feel like I'm the only one doing the holding.